Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of The Bridge. Today we're going to talk about lunges and step-ups, many benefits. We're going to talk about some progressions and regressions and how you can vary them. Okay, so just off the top, basically lunges are fantastic. They translate really well into sporting activities as well as activities of daily living. So that being said, let's take a look at how you can progress these lunges and step-ups, then also how you can look for the finer points and figure out if a client or athlete is lacking in mobility or stability. Let's check it out. All right, so a great introduction to the lunge is a band-assisted lunge. So it's going to take some of the load off the client athlete and make it easier for them to perform the lunge itself. So Demi, go ahead and give me a few lunges. Perfect, come back up. Another one, great, 2 more. Good, pause on this last one. Good, so what I'm looking at first and foremost, I want to see if this foot's collapsing or if it's staying neutral, okay? I also want to see a relatively vertical shin angle, so I don't want to see that heel coming up. I don't want to see that knee lunging or jutting forward. And then I want to see that knee in a good position. So knee pointing over the toes, that's a fantastic looking lunge. Plus we've got a relatively neutral spine. Hop on up, and let's move on to the next progression. All right, so we taught our client and athlete how to lunge assisted. With the bands, they take some of the body weight off, makes it easier. Let's progress that. So let's go into a forward lunge, complete body weight. Fantastic, hop back up, right side, and pause. So again, we're looking for the same things. That foot is not collapsing inward, that knee is tracking over the toes, she's nice and tall. Great, hop back up for me. Let's do a lateral lunge. Perfect, and then to the left, and pause there. And what you're going to notice is they are going to bend at their hips a little more in the lateral lunge. That's fine, that's fantastic. I don't want to see that coming from the low back. The other piece is make sure that knee is still tracking over the toes. Not overly concerned with which direction the toe is pointing in this exercise. I do want to make sure that knee is right over those toes. Come back up. So we've got forward, we've got sideways. Let's go backwards. Perfect, and up, and then one more, and pause. And then just one more coaching point. So again, we're looking at all our checkpoints. From that front angle, you can also look for, are those hips level? I don't want to see those hips dropping or shifting as she's doing the reverse lunge. Come on back up. Demi's a rock star, so let's make this harder for her. All right, so we did the body weight lunge. We went forward, lateral, backwards. Now we're going to make it a little harder, adding a barbell. So you can rack the barbell backwards, frontwards, overhead, any way you want. Again, you want to make a logical progression. So let's just see what a barbell on the back looks like on the lunge. So let's go into a forward lunge. And again, I'm looking foot, knee, hips. Perfect. Hop back up. Let's go lateral. Again, I want to see a bend at the hips, but not a bend at the back. Come back up and reverse. Nice and tall, chest up, head tall. Fantastic. Come on back up. And that's a barbell lunge in multiple planes of motion. So if we're looking for general force production, we're going to use a barbell. Just common happenstance. But if I want to make this a little more challenging on those hip rotators, that glute med, I'm going to contralaterally load our athlete client. All right, so Demi, go ahead and give me 3 lunges or so. Good, so with that left leg stepping forward, the weight in the right hand, that left hip has to really work to keep that pelvis straight. One more. Perfect, and rest. So I'm looking at all the same pieces, foot, knee, hips, torso, and it's good exercise. Okay, so we showed you a number of lunge variations. There's a ton more that you can come up with. What are your client's needs? What are your athlete's demands? Okay, those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Progressing into more of a step up, because it's a similar motion as lunging, I like to go with the step down to start with. So, Demi, go ahead and step on up to the box. What we're going to do is cue more of a hip dominant exercise because I want her comfortable stepping down, so when we go into a step up, she's not just jumping. So go ahead and step back, just get that toe to touch. Good, and come back up. I'm looking at foot, knee, hip again. Great, and I don't want to see a whole lot of weight on that back leg, I just want to see a touch so that all that weight's coming from the front leg. The other thing you will notice, and it's okay, she's going to be bending at her hips. Again, not rounding in her back. That just means she's using her glutes more, and that's what I'm looking for. Give me 2 more reps. Good. A little slower on that way down. I want you to really control it. Fantastic. And rest. Now, if we want to make this harder, this is rock star level. So go ahead and hop on off for me. So we're going to rack the kettlebell. So you're going to grab the kettlebell, create a little pyramid, thumb at the clavicles, and then hold this here. Then perform the step down on the opposite leg. That's a pretty beefy kettlebell, so let's see what you got. Good, so we're going to come back up, and we're stepping down same leg. Perfect. Go ahead and bring that arm tighter to your body. Squeeze that bicep to your rib cage. Good. Slower, and then more hips back. There it is. Come back up. One more. Fantastic. And rest. I'll grab that for you. That's a great exercise. Really engages the core, gets some shoulder stability, and you'll also notice when you've got that kettlebell in the opposite arm, that knee really wants to collapse, so it's a great way of training those hips to keep everything in alignment. All right, so we went over lunge variations. We taught you how to step down with clients. So now we're going to put it together. So we're going to go into a reverse lunge, into a step up with a leg raise. Again, all those same cueing points. Fantastic. Other side. You want to get a good burn. This will definitely work. That is fantastic. Thank you, Demi. All right, so one last point. There's a great article that talks about loading relative to not only lunges and step-ups, but squats and deadlifts. Essentially, it says as you go heavier as a percent of your 1RM, you change your motion a little bit and you get more hip engagement. Okay, so consider that. You can check that article out. It's written below. I want to thank you for watching this segment of The Bridge and hope that you keep watching.